A sea of anticipatory faces filled the courtroom as the drama played out. With their pencils poised, reporters lined the back of the room, anxious to capture what had turned out to be one of the most egregious betrayals in the history of reality television. With her hands folded and an unreadable expression, Janelle Brown sat at the plaintiff's table. But brewing beneath the surface was a storm. This was the culmination of years of heartache, frustration, and deceit. Meri Brown sat rigidly next to her, a thin line of lips squeezed together. Justice wasn't the only issue here. It was about being heard at last. Robyn Brown and Cody Brown were seated at the defense table across the room. Cody had lost his typically arrogant attitude. His fingers were tapping restlessly on the desk, and he appeared agitated. In her typical act of frail innocence, Robyn sat next to him, holding a tissue and wiping at her eyes. However, nobody was fooled by the stunt today. The room was brought to order by the judge, an elderly woman with a commanding presence and piercing eyes. The muttering abruptly stopped. She looked over the lip of her glasses and shuffled a stack of papers. "You can continue with your testimony, Mrs. Brown." Janelle inhaled deeply before getting to her feet. Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let's dive into the latest drama. Years of deceit were bearing down on her, but she was not going to give up. Her speech was firm as she gazed straight at the judge. Cody and Robyn deceived the rest of us into believing they were operating in everyone's best interests, manipulated finances, and eroded family confidence for years. However, we present evidence today that they misled both this court and us. A whisper rippled through the courtroom. Cody moved around in his chair. He saw that people who had once viewed him as the leader of a devoted, cohesive family were watching him, judging him, and quietly disbelieving him. Janelle's voice became louder as she turned to confront him directly. We were informed that everything was distributed equally. That served as our family's cornerstone. We based our entire existence on that promise. She pointed to the stack of papers in front of her lawyer. However, what is the reality? In actuality, Cody and Robyn were using money that belonged to all of us to construct a life for themselves while we struggled and barely managed to make ends meet. With her hands clenched in her lap, Meri moved next to her. Janelle went on. "We had faith in Cody. We had faith in you. However, you have been transferring family funds into a personal account all along. We had to make sacrifices, you said. That it wasn't sufficient. So in order to help the family, we had to do more. But what's the truth? You were purchasing a new house for Robyn with that money. You were using it to finance a way of life that none of us ever engaged in." Robyn's fingers clenched on her tissue as she took a deep breath. Cody's jaw was clenched as he sat up straighter. "That's not true," he replied hastily. His tone was defensive and strained. A perceptive lady in a navy suit, Janelle's attorney, stepped up and moved a folder across the judge's desk. "These are the financial records, Your Honor. Concrete proof that money was moved into an account that was only under Cody and Robyn Brown's control." Flipping over the pages, the judge took up the folder. As she studied the damning evidence, the only sound in the room was the rustle of paper. Cody's face went white. He looked at Robyn, who was sitting motionless, breathing heavily. The judge looked up. "Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Brown?" Cody shifted uneasily and licked his lips. His voice trailed off as he replied, This is a misunderstanding. The family's welfare was the reason behind these financial choices. Some things needed to be taken care of, and Meri's chair scraped loudly against the floor as she suddenly stood up. "No," she cut in, her voice piercing with passion. "No, Cody. The family was not the target of this. It was for Robyn and you. While the rest of us were left behind, you used the money you stole from us all to start a life with her." There was silence in the room. Cody parted his lips, then shut them again. On the table, his hands balled into fists. When Meri spoke again, her voice broke. "Recall the time you informed me that I wouldn't have enough money to purchase a home of my own? You mentioned that we should all exercise caution when spending money. That in order to further the common good, we had to make sacrifices?" She chuckled bitterly. "The whole time you were lying." Robyn was able to speak at last. Her voice was shaking as she continued. "That's not fair. You're giving the impression that we took something from you." Janelle's eyes flashed as she turned on her. "Robyn, you did steal from us. You took everything, and Cody did too." The murmuring had resumed, but the judge silenced them with a raised hand. She went to the plaintiff's attorney. "Please go on." With a nod, the attorney produced one additional paper. Additionally, Cody acknowledges on tape that he gave Robyn more importance than his other marriages, that he defended the money transfer by saying, quote, "Robyn's needs come first." Meri briefly closed her eyes, seemingly to regain her composure. Although she had always sensed it, it was a completely other experience to hear it said aloud. The judge's face was unreadable as she gazed at Cody. "Do you deny making this statement, Mr. Brown?" Cody took a deep breath. He scanned the room as though trying to find a way out. Before, he had been able to negotiate his way out of tough circumstances, but this time, there was no way out. At last, he sagged back in his seat. He didn't respond. There was an overwhelming quiet in the room. The judge paused for a moment before continuing. "I conclude that Mr. Brown and Mrs. Brown intentionally misrepresented facts to this court based on this evidence. It is obvious that these financial operations are dishonest. These actions will have repercussions." The crowd echoed with gasps. Cody let his hands drop his head. Robyn opened her mouth, but she remained silent. Nothing else could be said. Janelle exhaled slowly at the plaintiff's table. In a moment of mutual triumph, Meri turned to face her, their eyes locking. At last, they had succeeded. The truth had been revealed, and there's more. Star of Sister Wives, once a polygamist, Robyn Brown suddenly changed her ways and adopted a traditional married lifestyle with Cody Brown, becoming the epitome of monogamy. She seemed to have become a full tradwife. Robyn is wearing a rather antiquated purple floral outfit and is enjoying her role as a stay-at-home mom in a $2.1 million property. She and Cody wear identical David Yurman rings, and she has a ton of dolls and children. Robyn, who was once a staunch supporter of plural marriage, is now completely into traditional married life with Cody. Robyn isn't going to give up just because it's just the two of them, and sometimes things go wrong in paradise. Despite her problems with Cody, she seems to be committed to the long term, claiming on screen that he picks fights over dumb things. Robyn has that old-fashioned woman thing going on, even though she changed and stopped using the passive-aggressive strategies of the past by telling everyone that she would feel disrespected if Cody took another wife. The 1950s lifestyle was oppressive, according to some, including me, because of significant social problems including racism, which left many individuals yearning for change. There was homophobia. People were supposed to fit in. An extraordinary about-face resulted from all of these restrictions and injustices. Flower power was adopted by hippies, who rejected the Leave It to Beaver philosophy. In spite of all of this, some women choose to relive the 1950s, living out their dream of becoming housewives from that period. They upgrade their appliances and cook dinner party favorites like oysters Rockefeller and ham jello salad. Perhaps they make Manhattan drinks for their husbands who look like Don Draper. The first season of Mad Men took place in 1960, just as things were about to shift. Okay, so Cody Brown from Sister Wives doesn't look like Don, the main character from Mad Men. But aside from the frequent infidelity, Cody is incredibly faithful. The patriarch of Sister Wives may occasionally behave similarly to him. Most of the time, Robyn is cool with him taking the lead. Don, the fictional ad man, was born and raised in a time when women had limited authority. Cody was brought up with patriarchal polygamous values. However, Cody is fully devoted to his relationship, as evidenced by the video above, in which he displays a ring that matches Robyn's. Thus, there is a connection between the Mad Men star and the reality star. Perhaps this explains why Cody and the ultra-feminine Robyn Robyn get along. Although she has experimented with jewelry creation, she seems content to be a wife and not work a regular day job. According to reports, she had more than $33,000 in credit card debt when she got married, some of which came from Victoria's Secret, a company that suffered greatly because it refused to broaden its definition of beauty until it was nearly too late. Despite Robyn's seeming opulence, the tradwife lifestyle may have drawbacks. Robyn has to make an effort to get along with a man who is frequently irritable and resentful. He is attempting to sabotage their relationship, according to her. The tradwife thing only works, in my opinion, and others may disagree, when the man involved is good, not bad. A tradwife could feel overly reliant on a cruel partner if a man begins as good, but later turns into a villain. Like Cody, Robyn Brown of Sister Wives must admit that she makes her own money from appearances on the show. She is therefore not reliant on him for financial support. They have, however, disagreed on their spending patterns. He would rather conserve money, but she wants to spend more freely to improve her quality of life. Janelle claimed that during their spiritual union, Cody controlled the purse strings, and that perhaps now she needs permission to purchase the items she desires. Perhaps their marriage is still that conventional. If so, she can occasionally feel overly reliant on Cody. Perhaps she wishes to exercise her authority more, as she demonstrated when she discussed her views on monogamy. Robyn doesn't appear to be finding the same level of satisfaction from her tradwife life as she ought to. She may be missing something, even though she has the children, the jewels, the fancy house, and the white picket fence. Otherwise, according to Without a Crystal Ball on Instagram, why would she spend $70,000 on dolls that she bought on Etsy? She may simply be a doll enthusiast, but if her buying patterns are genuine, it appears that she is shopping to satisfy a need. Purchases made by shopaholics in an attempt to reduce their tension can instead result in financial difficulties. Perhaps in an attempt to please his traditional wife, Cody is spending very crazy on her YouTube channel, according to Gwendolyn Brown. But Robyn actually needs a man who is emotionally stable and can handle life's ups and downs without being too shaken, not just another doll in a nice outfit. Cody is supposed to be the man of the house for the tradwife, but he is failing at his role, acting irrationally and displaying signs of existential dread. He is no longer the happy father of the past. Robyn probably thought he would be a happy guy who was excited to be monogamous, but he isn't. The loss of his son, Garrison Brown, is causing Cody to grieve. That will drastically darken a person's perspective and alter them. It's trauma. Although there are benefits to trad life, Robyn may be becoming tired of some of its drawbacks. It can be disastrous to hang everything on a man. If it doesn't work out, what is left for a woman? Like all relationships, trad life is a gamble, even though it obviously makes a lot of men and women happy. There is only the certain awareness that Robyn is not as happy as she once was. There is neither right nor wrong. In the meantime, Janelle, the family's worker bee, is establishing a new company called Tata Farms, much to Elizabeth Moss's character Peggy Olson from Mad Men. Like Joan Harris from Christina Hendricks' Mad Men, Christine is outspoken and fearless, and she is forging her own path with her new husband, David Woolley. Meri, who is as innocent as Alison Brie's character Trudy Campbell from Mad Men, is beginning again and displaying a little edge because of a glow-up and her worthy-up companionship. Although there are similarities between Sister Wives and Mad Men, Robyn and Cody may discover that their 1950s fantasy is no longer as realistic as their Coyote Pass pipe dream. Perhaps they can resolve their issues. But whether Robyn is a real tradwife or not, I don't feel like they're living their happily ever after. Given how crazy Sister Wives Season 19 has been and how Robyn and Cody's on-screen arguments have shown the darkest aspects of their relationship, it's feasible that producers would decide to highlight Christine Brown in a potential Season 20. Cody has been sharing his experience with 4 spouses for 19 parts. Only he and Robyn remain now, along with the specters of the past that haunt them every single day. The man who pushed away 3 wives, however, has claimed that his love for Robyn is the only reason his ex-wife and their children turned against him. But it might be more complicated than that. For instance, despite the fact that 2 other women, Janelle and Meri Brown, possess shares in Coyote Pass, Cody refuses to sell the property. In order to get paid, they want it sold. Cody is now in charge, although he is reluctant to really drive anywhere. He's taking his time. The excitement of the concert might become electrifying if the spotlight were moved to Christine, a more upbeat cast member. Perhaps a cast reorganization is warranted. Robyn and Cody quarrel with everyone, including each other. A reality show should have some drama, but the problem is that the fights seem to be the same every time. Cody never truly accepts responsibility for his actions, which indicates that he doesn't develop personally. Cody simply keeps acting like the victim around everyone, including his long-suffering ex-partners and some of their kids. Christine Brown from Sister Wives, meanwhile, has completely changed. She had never been happier than she is now. She might brighten screens and give viewers more motivation, positive vibes, and optimism if she became the star of a prospective Sister Wives Season 20. As it stands, Kody doesn't appear like a role model and is contributing a lot of murky energy. Christine, however, is a beacon of light because she had the courage to go and find happiness. She is an easy person to admire. David and Christine go on incredible adventures together. Together, David and Christine are expanding their Airbnb business by renting out a second apartment. The first house they chose to rent out in Moab, Utah, is stunning, located near magnificent red cliffs and lovely hiking routes. Even the blustery Paydon Brown melts around his mother, demonstrating the healthy and caring relationships Christine has with her children. Christine has the ability to infuse Sister Wives with vitality and optimism, transforming the occasionally stale series into something entirely new. She is candid above, discussing how fear held me back. All of us must confront our fears head-on in life. The figurative monsters that attempt to sabotage our hopes or tranquility can be fought and even vanquished. Living evidence that this is feasible is Christine. Robyn and Cody might still appear on the show, although perhaps not as frequently. Everyone may benefit from the change. The show may truly end if Cody and Robyn continue to argue with the exes, who are quite resentful, and if a solid decision over Coyote Pass is not made. For what length of time can people see the same scenes play out? With Christine as the main character, Sister Wives might explore the idea of multiplying love in a whole different way by embracing courage, optimism, and adventure. Given that Cody is still bitter at the Brown family's demise, she seems like the ideal leader as the trailblazer who left the family in pursuit of happiness and fulfillment. He doesn't appear to realize that he was the main player in that circumstance. Maybe he never will. Remember how Christine sold her portion of Coyote Pass for a pittance of $10 to end the whole thing? A woman who is truly warm and alive like her can lead without the pettiness. For her, freedom and pleasure were more important than money. A series tainted by protracted and convoluted feuds can be revitalized by a woman like her. I want Christine to take us on her enchanted mystery tour because she knows how to enter the light. The on-screen drama feels a little stiff these days, even though Cody and Robyn may be the secret ingredient that makes this show heated. The two might be able to resolve their issues and return strong in a potential season 21 if they had less screen time. They could demonstrate a renewed sense of thankfulness in a subsequent installment by taking a brief break to reflect on their blessings. The entire situation will alter if producers take action, as the Sister Wives cast is at a standstill. Star of Sister Wives Technology is helping Janelle Brown manage her mental health in the midst of her property disputes with her ex-husband, Cody Brown. Following her departure from Cody and the polygamous Brown family in 2022, Janelle has been residing in North Carolina. In order to launch their firm in North Carolina, Janelle and her daughter, Madison Brownbush, bought real estate. The Sister Wives Season 19 star recently shared her daring new tactic, which is to talk more and argue less. It seems like she's preparing for a fight over Coyote Pass and wants to arm herself with practical weapons. Janelle recently revealed that she's started using an infrared sauna to help her relax because this week has been a lot and her stress levels have been extra. It appears that the process of starting a new business, along with taking care of unfinished business with Cody, has taken a toll on her stress levels. Spending time in a sauna is like hitting the reset button, Janelle wrote in the caption of a selfie she posted on Instagram while sitting in one surrounded by red and purple lights. The fact that Janelle is more stressed than normal is not surprising. She's moving, launching a new company with Meri, figuring out what it's like to be a single woman, and still fighting with Cody and Robyn for her portion of Coyote Pass. Additionally, Meri and her husband, Caleb, recently welcomed a baby girl into the family. It's a good move for the Sister Wives star to admit that she's stressed and then take steps to deal with it. Janelle needs to keep up her healthy lifestyle for the future because she already experienced a significant change in her health from a detox she underwent at the start of the year. Another important aspect of her self-care routine is that the sauna also improves her quality of sleep. Because she was raised in a household with 4 women and 14 children, Janelle has experienced stress throughout her life. She still has stress now that she's starting a new chapter in her life, but she has more time to deal with it effectively. An essential part of Janelle's ongoing health journey is taking the time to unwind in an infrared sauna. Although she has come a long way, Self-care is a daily and continuous process. It's safe to conclude that Janelle's continuous conflict with Cody over Coyote Pass is a major source of her stress. It must be quite hard to deal with Cody. It's okay if Janelle has to spend an additional half-hour in a sauna to help her get ready for her fight with Cody. She could have to fight the struggle of her life. Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.